Going on, my people? This is your host, Bonky, and with Black Trending News, this is episode 14 in season 3. Go ahead and check out seasons 1 and 2. Now let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about rapper and singer AK0N, who back in 2013 revealed that he was leading a polygamous lifestyle. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I think that polygamy is used and women are treated as breeding forms. You know, we're just breeding bodies to have children, to build an empire. That, from my research and what I've read, that's what it's been mostly for. Or let's say, for example, a man has to go to war. He needs to impregnate, different women to have another male. These are things where it's necessary. I don't think that polygamy is necessary. I've seen articles, I've heard lectures, I've heard interviews where people say, polygamy is important. We need polygamy in the Black community. This is why there's so many problems in the Black community, because men are not naturally made to commit to one woman. It's natural for them to have multiple wives. This is completely natural. And, women need to try to, get with it. I've heard all kinds of bullshit. I call it bullshit. Yes. I don't think women need to get with anything. If I think it's to each its own. If you want to have a polygamous marriage, by all means, do whatever you want. It's not my vagina. It's not my womb. It's not me pushing out all these babies. And it's not me watching my, quote, sister get screwed by my or our husband. So another argument I've heard is that, the women don't get jealous. This is a myth, first of all. It's gotta be a damn myth. The women don't get jealous because they're sisters and they understand the purpose of this polygamous family. They understand it. So they hold hands and sing Kumbaya while they each hop on and off of their husband. No, not really. So I'm just not here for it. I think that it's to each its own. I've read articles of women in Africa that throw acid on each other from jealousy, or they fight to have more children because they want to be accepted by the man's family. They want to breed the most kids to build the biggest empire. So now kids are being used to build empires and to work. And, women are just pushing out these babies so these children can grow up and do whatever dad says to do. And this man is just, listen, when people, not just men, but when people have too much of something, they get carried away. These women have been abused, been kicked out of their homes because this man is like, look, I don't need you. I have 3 or 4 other wives, or however many wives they have. There's even a man, I can't remember his name, 100 wives in Africa, somewhere, I believe West Africa. If you know, put it in the comment section. 100 wives. Do you think he gives a 2 craps if 2 of them leave him? He does not care, right? So for a man that's like, you know what, if you want to go, I'll beat you, kick you, throw you out. I don't need you or your kids. So now you have a woman, or children, now you have a woman with her children out on the street, right? A single mom now. So single moms, a lot of people try to use single moms as an excuse to do polygamy. Oh, there's so many single mothers. All she has to do is speak up to her husband and he can just abolish her in the snap of a finger, and then turn around and go screw somebody else who's going to stay there because she doesn't want to get abolished. She's scared. So, right? It happens. I mean, I've read this with my own 2 eyes. Please, do your research. I want to get back to AK0N though. A quote he says here: the whole purpose of dating is so you can date this one and date this one and date this one until you find out, okay, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Okay, now I commit to what's called marriage. You find that one woman that supplies everything that you desire in a woman. Of course, that will be a motivation to stick with that one woman, but I don't know no one woman that can satisfy every man's one need. It's impossible. Just like there's not one man that can satisfy a woman's every need. But women aren't built to breed like that or mate with more than one partner. Women aren't built that way. Men are. Okay, so this is bullshit, right? He goes, of course that will be a motivation to stick with that one woman. So men need motivation to commit. It's bullshit. Yeah. But you know what? It's very enlightening to see people's ideas. And of course, not every polygamist living man thinks like this. There are, I guess, polygamous men that take care of all their wives. They have to be treated equally. There are parts of the world where legally they have to treat their wives equally, as if there was just one of them. There's laws around them protecting the wives and, considering the wife's feelings. Great, whatever, she wants to do that, and go right ahead. But this right here is some nonsense. Let's keep talking. He also reveals if America adopted that polygamy culture, there would be less domestic disputes. The average guy in the world has a main girl, and they got a side chick, and then they got to jump off. At the end of the day, as a male, we are natural breeders by nature. We can't even escape if we wanted to. Let's say you put 1,000 guys on one corner and one bad chick walks past. You're going to see 1,000 heads go, damn. They don't even know why they're doing it. They're natural breeders. It's in their genes. They can't help it, says AK0N, the polygamist. He also revealed on Angie Martinez's radio show, I'm a polygamist. I can afford to have as many wives as I can afford to have. All Africans believe in it. My dad has 4 wives. This is a fucking joke. All Africans believe in it. Where does he get this from? So, people get a platform and it's amazing the things that they say. When I've seen AK0N in the media, it's usually for something good. Oh, he's helping Africa. He's building schools. He's making clean water for Africa, all this other stuff. But I just said, let's talk about this. He has said that it's this type of polygamous speech has started affecting other people that had nothing to do with him and his, quote, wives. And because of that, the label said they don't want him to participate or promote that aspect. He can't talk about that too much because it's destroying other people's families and other things. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in. People do judge you by your beliefs and how you think. It's a free country, but it's really not free. Okay. So yeah, when you have a platform and you start talking about, having a side chick and the average man, what the average man has, thank you for speaking on the average man's behalf. These are some strong words here. So it says here, though there's only confirmation of 2, quote, wives, one of them he's legally married to. It's rumored his former fiance, model Rachel Ritfield, was supposed to be his 4th, quote, wife. However, she left their relationship in 2007 and soon revealed to The Voice, a British publication, why she made the decision. Okay, so she woke up. She was like, I don't got no time for this shit. You doing what? And you want me to do what? Listen. Now, people are going to say, oh, we've been indoctrinated by Christians and Europeans. People claim that we blacks and Latinos and whoever else was indoctrinized by white Europeans and Spaniards and so forth, that we have been brainwashed to think that one-on-one relationships are the only way to be, and polygamy we should be able to as many women as we want and call them our wives and do whatever we want with them. They belong to us and their bodies belong to us, and all they're good for is just pushing out kids. I can't think of another reason why a man would want 4 wives but to 4 different women legally without having to pay for it in a prenup, etc. That's the only reason why I would think a man wants to have 4 different wives. lay with, whatever. And he doesn't live with them. Oh, it gets good. Let me go ahead and read what his former fiance, Rachel Ritfield, said here. The reality check really came when AK0N told me he had his 5th child with one of his wives. For the first few months, I got completely freaked out because even though I knew he had other wives, I never really thought about him being with them because his main attention was always on me. Or so I thought. He does not live with his wives, but the birth of his latest child made everything become real and made me realize that I would always have to share the man I love while accepting his other relationships. At first, I was very supportive, but I began to question that if I was taking him into consideration and he was taking his family into consideration, who was taking me into consideration? The answer was nobody. So I decided I could no longer be a part of AK0N'S world. He has a world, okay? She continues to say there was never any friction. AK0N was honest with me about his multiple wives from the start, which never got in the way of our relationship because his wives live in various parts of the world. So I thought, why fix it if it's not broken? But now I have had a complete change of heart. You think so? You think so? So because this man's wives live in different parts of the world, exactly where he wants them. So when I go tour here or I have some business here, I got some waiting for me. Hello? Oh, she wants a baby? No problem. I'll knock her up. She lives in Australia. Who the hell cares? Nobody's going to know she's out there. Who cares? Sure, I'll give you a baby. Yeah, whatever. I could afford it. Okay. So, hello, people. Polygamy at its finest. She goes on to say, the one thing I wanted from AK0N was for him to be monogamous to me, but he could not grant me my wish. I thought I could handle the idea of becoming one of his wives in the beginning. But who's to say some other woman he meets won't capture his heart? I soon realized that he was not the man for me. Girl, you should have been realized it when he told you he had 5 wives all over the world. What are you talking about? At least she woke up and she was public about it, because hearing these type of stories should help other women make better decisions and I'm sure he is not the first and only or the last man that is doing this shit. I'm sure he's not. I'm not ringing him, pulling him through the ringer. I'm just talking about an article. Okay, moving on. Despite Ritfield leaving their relationship, AK0N is legally married to Tamika Tayem, with whom he has 2 children. He has 6 children altogether. In addition to Tayem, he and another one of his wives, Trisha Anna, appeared on the most recent season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Many fans of the show don't like her, claiming her voice is annoying, her face is expressionless, and she has poor manners. Well, she is one of somebody's wives. I can't imagine, and I'm not judging her, but I just cannot imagine knowing that my husband is wifing other people, and when he's not here, because if he has wives in different parts of the world, he is obviously a man he's a traveler, okay? He's traveling because he's got to see all these wives, right? And what are these wives doing when he's not around? I wonder if he thinks that these wives are committed to him. I wonder if this is the thought that's in his mind. I don't know if they are, but if I'm a woman that's only married to a man for money, because this is apparently what this is about. I don't know. I mean, he's got to be gone for months at a time. Like this girl said, his former fiance said, he was spending all his time with me, but he just had a 5th child with somebody else. He did a hopped in a plane, boop, boop, bop, bop, and then came back. Hello. Okay. So there's also rumors swirling that he may be looking for a 5th, quote, wife. And I'm sure there's women lining up to add to the family. Okay. As he has spotted out with Another young woman, though individuals can only be legally married to one person at a time, that's not stopping Akon from expanding his family and plethora of wives, to each their own. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I already let you know what I think. I am not a polygamist lifestyle supporter. I don't think I could ever be. All these excuses that people try to use. Oh, there'd be a lot less single women. Who the fuck said that single women needed your goddamn vouch in your opinion? I am very happy being single, and I'll be single for the rest of my damn life before I am watching my husband screw other women and knock them up. Have a good night. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit the notification bell. I'm going to be putting out more videos this week. I hope you have a happy freaking new year. And I love you. Goodbye.